Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for another video. Yes, it is that time again. It is the time for some final record predictions. We're going to be taking an in-depth look at our 2025 to 2026 Florida Gators football team. We're going to completely break this team down, look at the offense, the defense, the coaching staff, and try to predict what their final record is going to be when we get to the end of the regular season. What games they might win, what games they might lose. We'll be doing our final score predictions. We'll be completely looking this roster over. If you're a Gators football fan, guys, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. If you are a college football fan, make sure to like and subscribe. We're going over every single team this offseason, looking at their schedules, trying to predict what their win-loss record is going to be. And once the season starts, it is almost here. We are down to this month. At the end of this month, we are going to have college football. We finally made it. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel because we do predictions. We do best bets on every single game the entire week, and we also do it for the NFL teams as well. But also, make sure to drop a comment below. Do you agree with me? Disagree with me? What are your thoughts on the Florida Gators this season? Let me know what your final predictions are, and I will respond to every single comment. If you want to sign up for one of our member teams, look down at the pinned comment below. Click on that link. You can sign up there, and I would definitely appreciate it. So, this 2025 Florida Gator football team. Let's first kind of start off with where they finished last season. They went 8-5 last season. That was the worst, the worst football schedule I have ever seen in my life. They had a gauntlet they had to run through. Billy Napier, his seat was on fire, scorching hot. But who's the coach for the 2025 Florida Gators? Billy Napier. He was able to navigate it through the storm. The main guiding post that got him through that was he found a quarterback of the future for the Florida Gators, DJ Lagway. This guy's been getting so much off-season hype. Can he live up to the hype? He's had some injury concerns. He's had some arm concerns, shoulder concerns. He just hurt his leg. A lot of issues going on right now. He's in the cast. He has all that stuff going on, but they say he's going to be ready for opening day. The biggest question mark if you are a Florida Gators football team is, will he be able to maintain his health through the entire regular season, getting hit nonstop? Big-bodied guy. He can throw it down the field. He's a mobile quarterback. He can extend plays with his legs, but he's always keeping his eye looking down the field, looking for that deep target threat. But if he can't even keep his health during the offseason when he's not getting hit, you just have to hope by the grace of God somehow that he is able to keep his health, stay healthy this entire season. If he's able to do that, things are setting up for a very prosperous season. Billy Napier needs that. He went 8-5 with the bowl win last season, 7-5 during the regular season. If he goes 6-6 this season, I honestly think he's going to get fired. He needs to at least get to 7 or 8 wins. He needs to at least replicate the win total from last season. Last season's schedule was a disaster. That was awful. But they succeeded in getting through that and still winning 8 games. The schedule this season is still awful, one of the worst I've ever seen, but it is not the worst I've ever seen, which was last season's schedule. DJ Lagway should be better than last season. True freshman last year. He got to start some games, got to play some. Yes, he got hurt, but he's going to be a better quarterback this season. The weapons are there. The offense should be a more complete offense this season. The defense should be better. Looking at the playmakers on the offensive side, there's going to be Dallas Wilson. There's going to be Sturdivant. There's going to be Eugene Wilson. Everyone loves this guy. He's a game changer potentially at that wide receiver position. Running backs, Baugh, Jackson. You have Hanson at tight end. You have DJ Lagway. He's getting Heisman hype this offseason, guys. I know what you Gator fans are thinking. Just please, God, can we please have a healthy quarterback this season? It is very possible. If he does, he's going to put up some stats. If he doesn't, this schedule can get away from you very quickly. You have your coordinators. You have Billy Napier. If he's not able to do it this season, he's out. This is still a tough schedule. A lot of top 25 teams, but I think Florida is at least almost as talented as the majority of the teams on the schedule. Billy's been working hard, recruiting, transfer portal, but let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into it. Let's go game by game. Let's try to predict the outcome for every single one of these matchups. And kind of just to have a little barrier of what is the floor of where Florida needs to at least reach. As of right now, Vegas is predicting them to come in at 6.5 wins. Gator fans, that's probably pissing you off right now. You are probably saying we are much better than that. We'll win 7, 8, 9, 10 games. But Vegas is saying 6.5 wins. That's the mark that we have to measure. If you get less than that, 6 and under, you underachieve this season. If you get 7 and over, technically, you might not like 7 wins, but you would have overachieved the Vegas expectations. You start out the season with a cupcake game. That's the way you want to start it out, especially with a banged-up quarterback, because if for some reason he has to sit week 1, you at least know you can sleepwalk through this game. You're still going to win it. You're going to be playing Long Island University, open the season up in Gainesville, Florida. This is going to be a blowout. it's going to be a curb stomping. Let's say it's DJ Lagway. It's probably going to be like a 52-7, 52-10 type game. You're going to be starting out the regular season. Want to know, get those easy cupcake games, because once you get into conference play, LSU, then you have Miami out of conference tough game. You want to make sure that you have everything well oiled. The offense, the defense are both rolling at that point. Then the next game, Saturday, September 6th versus South Florida. There's a lot of in-state Florida teams this season. Miami, Florida State, the South Florida Bulls. You got to take them serious. Why do you have to take them serious? Because it's still Florida town. A 3-star in Florida is probably a 4-star in the other state outside of Texas and California. So South Florida is going to have speed. They actually had a pretty decently competitive team. Just as Bama the last 2 seasons, they did play close. They played Miami close for like a half, and they got curb stomped. I think Florida's ultimately going to win it, but I think it's going to be one of those games. It's going to be close first, second quarter. No matter what, I don't think Florida's going to get upset here. If they do, there's going to be hell to pay. I don't foresee that happening. Florida's going to win it comfortably. I could say like a 37-21 type game, and they're going to be starting out the season 2-0 with 2 out-of-conference wins. And then you obviously see a massive step up in competition. Week 3, it's time to start SEC play, which is, let's call it like it is the deepest conference in all of college football. Saturday, September 13th, you are going to LSU, going to Death Valley. What is the health status of DJ Lagway? This is where we start to ask these questions. Did he play the first 2 games? Was he able to make it through those first 2 games without any injuries? Is he banged up right now? Are you going to be going with the backup quarterbacks? Bailey, will he be starting here? Hopefully not, Florida fans. You want DJ Lagway. You want his legs healthy. You want his arm healthy. You want those targets healthy, looking vertically down the field. Florida, more than capable of upsetting LSU here, but LSU, Brian Kelly, very good coach, but he needs to win this season. He has a lot of pressure on him. He didn't win enough with Jaden Daniels. Now he has Nussmeier coming back for another season, one of the highest passing quarterbacks in the ACC in the country last season. They have a very deep wide receiver core. They have the number 2 transfer portal class. LSU has a top 10 overall roster. They are loaded with high 3s, 4s, 5-stars at every single position. Blake Baker back for another season as the defense coordinator. They took massive strides forward on the defensive side last season. They're going to be even better this season. You know their offense is going to score, but Florida has shown in the last couple seasons they don't care what LSU's rank is. They can beat them. They can beat them in Gainesville. They can beat them in Death Valley. They are not afraid. Florida showed last season they will play any ranked team. They will upset them. Even when they were barely going to be making a bowl, they showed how competitive they are, and they ended up winning 8 games. This game's going to be close to me, but it is in Death Valley. There's so many question marks with DJ Lagway here. I'm going to go with LSU winning this game, but I think it's going to be very close, like a 27-24, 28-24. Florida gets their first loss of the season, and they're 2-1. And then you have a little bit of a revenge game here next Saturday, September 20th at Miami. A lot of Florida Gator fans say there's no such thing as at Miami. It's still Florida. We're going to have more fans there. Well, let me just put it to you like this. Do not underestimate the Miami fans. Miami fans, I'm not going to say that they're bandwagon fans, but there's a lot to do in South Florida. They don't feel the need to go on Saturday. But if Miami's winning, if they're top 10, they're going to show up. They're going to show up in force. If you don't believe me, just think about, what was that, 2017, 2018, when Miami hosted Notre Dame, game day game. The stadium was sold out. It was loud. It was crazy with Miami fans. So this is an in-state rivalry game. What is the status of Miami? We have the unknowns there. You have Carson Beck transferring over. Have they won their first couple games? Don't forget they start out the season with Notre Dame at Miami. Again, does Miami beat Notre Dame? Because then they're coming into this game probably undefeated here, 3-0, riding high right now. Or they could lose to Notre Dame and they're 2-1. Florida's 2-1. Now you both have the same record. You're battling. Again, what's the health status of DJ Lagway? Especially after an extremely physical, close game versus LSU. Florida could be coming into this game with momentum. They could be coming off of it, trying to rebound off of a loss. I think this game is going to be a lot closer than it was last season. Miami went to Gainesville last season and beat the crap out of the Gators. Let's call it like it is. I don't foresee that happening. Carson Beck, he's not Cam Ward, but I don't know that Miami's going to need him to be Cam Ward because the defense was atrocious last season. They can't really get any worse, so they have to get better. I do have Miami winning this one, 33-27. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think Miami's ultimately going to pull it out in the end. Florida right now is 2-2. Florida fans, don't shut the video off. Everything is still in front of you. Don't forget this was a second-half team last season. Just wait till we get to the second half this year. And then right off of that, you don't want to lose 3 straight games. This is such a gauntlet of a middle schedule here. Florida, they're going to be so banged up. They're going to be drained physically, emotionally. It's not fair because you have other teams like the Texas Longhorns who actually have pretty easy SEC schedules. That's not the case for the Gators. The very next game, Saturday, October 4th, versus Texas. At least Texas is coming to Gainesville here. Florida, you can match up with Texas, but we also have unknowns when you look at Texas's roster. You have Manning taking over as the quarterback. We've seen him in very short spurts, seen him start some games, but we haven't seen him play an entire season with teams now developing game plans for him. So there's the unknowns here, but because of that last name, he's getting a lot of hype. Some people have him as the Heisman frontrunner. Let's slow it down. Let's see what he has. But Texas has a top 5, top 3 overall roster. They're loaded on the defensive front. That front 7 on defense is going to be aggressive. They're going to have one of the best offensive lines in the country. They're going to be able to run. They're going to have play action. Manning's also huge. He's run. He's a mobile quarterback. Great wide receiver core. Top 10 defense, top 10 defense. Last season, top 10 tackles for a loss. Quarterback pressures. Sacks. Steve Sarkisian, great coach. I'm going to go with Texas winning this game. I know Florida fans are starting to get pissed off. 2-3 right now. 3 straight losses. Billy Napier's seat is starting to get hot, but when that seat gets hot, you need to use this season as a building block going forward. 3rd year with DJ Lagway starting. It's going to be a good season. You're going to catch your momentum. It just hasn't happened yet. Florida's 2-3. Now it's time, just like last season, for the teams to start rallying around Billy Napier. Saturday, October 11th at Texas A&M, going to College Station. Very difficult place to play. They're going to have some rabid fans, but Notre Dame showed last season they'll go there, they'll beat you in your home field, and they'll quiet out your stadium. The Aggies are going to be physical. Mike Elko team, they're going to play defense, they're going to play special teams, they are going to run the ball, they're going to play time of possession, they're going to control the game clock, but I have DJ Lagway, even if for some reason he gets hurt, he's going to show back up this game, he's going to put the team on his back. Florida, they've beaten the Aggies before. I have them beating the Aggies in College Station and actually being a pretty decently convincing win. Let's say like a 33-24 game, a 2-possession win nonetheless. Florida's now 3-3, starting to catch some steam. Then you have Jeff Lebby's team next Saturday, October 18th versus the Mississippi State Bulldogs. This is going to be a gimme win here. Let's call this a cupcake game. They're not a good team in any way whatsoever. They have an atrocious defense. They don't have a good offense. They had to completely flip the entire roster last season. They had to do it again this offseason. They're not going to have the physical players. They're not going to have the talent. Massive talent disparity here. Florida's going to roll it up this game 42-20, and they're 4-3, starting to rack up some SEC wins. A lot of people, when they look at this game last season, Saturday, November 1st, the largest outdoor cocktail party in the world versus the Georgia Bulldogs. Some people say, Florida might have won last season if DJ Lagway doesn't get knocked out, if he does not get hurt that game. That if it's one of those could have been, should have been, didn't happen. But it was definitely possible. Florida knows they can compete with the big dogs, even teams that have more talented rosters than them, technically. But Florida still has a good roster. They still have a top 20, top 15 overall roster in the nation. If DJ Lagway is healthy here, you're going to get round 2, DJ Lagway scrambling, pushing the ball down the field. It's going to be a fun game. I do honestly, just calling it like it is, I do think Georgia's going to pull it out. Gunnar Stockton, I don't think he's going to be as good as Carson Beck was, let's say in 2023, but I think he's going to be better than Carson Beck was last season because he's a mobile quarterback. He can extend plays with his legs. Georgia's run game last season was a complete joke. They have to run the ball. Bobo, you have to learn how to call plays towards your players' skill position talents. Georgia's defense should be better. The offense should be better because they're going to make it a main point in their mind to concentrate on that downhill run game. They got to pick up yardage on the ground. I have Georgia winning this one, but I again think it's going to be a very close game, like a 30-24 one-possession game. DJ Lagway shows out this game, but Florida's 500. They're sitting at 4-4. Then you have Stoops' team here, Saturday, November 8th at Kentucky Wildcats. You really never know what you're getting with Kentucky, but this is probably going to be the worst Wildcats team we've seen in a long time. They always have an awful offense. Looks like it from 1980. They run the ball a lot. They can never vertically push the ball down the field, but it's Stoops. They're going to be physical. They're going to be aggressive. They're going to play solid defense. They're going to keep the game close, very close first half. Then they're going to be tired, wore out second half because they don't have the talent to compete with the Gators. Gators are going to win this one. Let's put it at like a 23-17, 24-17 game. They're 5-4 right now. And we all know what happened this game last season. You knocked Lane Kiffin potentially out of the playoffs. Saturday, November 15th at Ole Miss. Going to Ole Miss, they have Simmons taking over as the quarterback there. There's a Lane Kiffin team. They're going to score. They had a top 10 defense last season, top 10 offense last season. Lost a lot of talent to the NFL. Trey Harris, Jackson Dart, first-round pick. What's going to happen here with this team? He's going to be coming in there as the starting quarterback. They're going to have a great offense on the list. They are still going to have a great defense. Might not be a top 10, but it will at least be a top 20. They're not going to step back too much here. But Florida is in Lane Kiffin's mind. I'm going to go with Florida upsetting Ole Miss. This is a team, Billy Napier, when you count them out, they're going to win the games. They play great second half. You want to play Florida first half. You don't want anything to do with them those last games of the season. I have Florida winning a very low-scoring physical matchup here. Again, like a 24-20 game. And Florida's now 6-4. Don't forget, Vegas was predicting them at 6.5 wins. Anything over 6 wins is technically exceeding expectations with your schedule. Now you have another team that Florida has a history with, Saturday, November 22nd versus the Tennessee Volunteers. Tennessee, they've had a lot of difficulty, obviously, beating Florida for the last 25 seasons. It's been very difficult. Tennessee, Josh Heupel, one of the best offensive minds in college football. I do love Josh Heupel. I will make that very clear. Well, I love the offense that he runs. Nico transferring out at the last minute. I do not think Nico was good in any way whatsoever, but at least he was a veteran quarterback in this system. He could just be a game manager, and this team could have sleptwalked to a 10-2, 9-3 season easily. With him transferring out of nowhere, with them having to swap quarterbacks with the UCLA Bruins, he's gone. They brought over their quarterback. I think that kind of puts Heupel in a little bit of a tough position. They lost a lot of players to the NFL. Some guys transferred out, but this is a very talented team. They're going to be able to run the ball. They're going to have weapons at wide receiver. They're going to score some points. But I think that really hurts this team in these crunch moments at the end of the season. I think Florida's going to pull off back-to-back top 25 upsets just like they were doing last season. They're going to win this game. I'm going to say it's going to be a little bit of a shootout. Let's say like a 30-27 game. Florida is going to be 7-5. You just passed expectations. Now can you get back to 8 wins, which is where you were last year? And of course, you finish the season with a team that you just honestly want to beat the living crap out of. Saturday, November 29th versus the Florida State Seminoles. Mike Norvell, he went from a 13-1 season to a 2-10 season. Last season went about as bad as it ever possibly could have gone under any circumstances for him. If he doesn't have a good season or a respectable season this year, I do think Norvell will get canned. What is respectable? You at least have to go 6-6, 7-5. You at least have to triple your win total from last season. You can't show back up and not make a bowl game again back-to-back seasons. He's already done that several times. He can't do it again. Castellanos taken over as the quarterback. I'm not high on Castellanos, but he is a mobile quarterback. He can easily run for 1,000 yards, probably throw for 2,200 to 2,500 yards. You have Gus Malzahn taking over as the offense coordinator. One of the better modern-day offensive minds in college football. He just doesn't want to be a head coach anymore. You have a defensive coordinator coming over from Nebraska, Matt Rule defense. They're going to be physical. They're going to be aggressive. They're going to be simple, but they're going to be coming at you. They're going to be attacking the opposing quarterback. Again, what is DJ Lagway's health at this time? I do think he will be healthy. I at least hope he's healthy. As a college football fan, a purist college football fan, I want to see the best versions of these teams on the field every week because I want to watch some good games. I want to see a healthy Florida versus a healthy Florida State. If that's what happens this week, they're both healthy. They both have their starting quarterbacks. Everyone's there. I have Florida beating them. I have Florida beating them pretty handedly. Let's put them beating the crap out of them, like a 38-18. I have the Florida Gators finishing the regular season 8-4. Vegas predicted them at 6.5 wins. I have them exceeding expectations. You went 8-5 last season, so you hit 8 wins with the bowl game. Now you're 8-4. I do not have you playing for the SEC championship, but I have you going to a bowl game. Now you have a real shot of winning the bowl game. That puts you at a 9-4 season. So 8-5 to 9-4. That is an improvement. Next season, you're probably starting out top 10, top 15, especially because you're probably going to have DJ Lagway coming back. Guys, that's our predictions for the 2025 to 2026 Florida Gators schedule. First things first, though, make sure to hit that like button and make sure to subscribe. If you have any comments, do you agree with me, disagree with me? What are your thoughts on these games? What are your expectations for the 25 Florida Gators football team? Make sure to drop the comments below. I do respond to every single comment. And also, like I said, like and subscribe to the channel. If you want to sign up for one of our member teams, look down at the pinned comment below. Click on that link. You can sign up there, and I would definitely appreciate it. For those of you who have signed up, massive, massive shout out to you. And of course, as always, thank you for watching.